Hello, everyone.
Yes, the stream is up.
And welcome. The stream is live
We're doing it.
over the internets.
Mm-hmm.
Shooting waves through the tubes. We're just taking a bunch of dump trucks of data, putting it on there.
Futuristic tubes. Series
Yes,
of
on the
tubes.
futuristic tubes.
Thank you, Al Gore.
Yeah. So Tokyo Game Shows this week.
It is.
Alex.
It is. And I have not been keeping up with it.
I haven't either until today.
Oh.
I'll be quite honest. So I saw last night or this morning something in regards to Kingdom Hearts 2.8.
I did hear about that.
I was like, what the fuck? I was like, okay. I was like, what the fuck is 2.8?
Kingdom Hearts
so they
2
just came out with
4/5.
They no shit. First off, their naming convention's already fucking stupid.
So weird.
All right, they're really fucking retarded. And then all of a sudden they're like, okay, Kingdom Hearts 1.5 remix, and we're like, okay, all right. So everything before 1, right? So what? So anyway, I was reading some comments. I don't know if it's catching up or if everyone's just posting all at once.
I just saw them too, yeah.
So,
Mainstream
anyways,
mind.
yeah, so 1.5. So 1.5 is everything up until 2, I think. So Chimpin can confirm that.
Nice.
And then there's 2.5, which is everything from 2 on, including some small expansions or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Expansions. Small games, I should say. So, like, I think some of the mobile games or something like that was transferred or whatever.
Okay.
And then now they're like, yeah, Kingdom Hearts 2.8. And I was like, what the fuck is 2.8? So 2.8, I actually had to look it up because the article I was reading gave me no information. 2.8 is for PS4 only. And I was like, oh, so I read the first part. I was like, PS4, fucking right, finally, we're
It's
getting all the games.
happening!
It's a collection. And they're like, nah, it's not a collection, man. It's actually going to just be an HD remaster of Dream Drop Distance, scenes from Unchained X, and Birth by Sleep. And I was like, oh, okay.
Interesting. And those are all the, not spin-off games, but like
They're not spin-offs, but they're like prequels, essentially.
Yeah.
So they're like before Kingdom Hearts 1 happened.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I gotcha.
So they do offer a lot of story. But actually, I kind of like this because this gives me a chance to play it instead of having to buy the games for DS and the games for fucking PSP or whatever the fuck it was on.
Those down, yeah.
So I'm actually not too bad, not too upset about it. I hope that we do get a collection before Kingdom Hearts 3.
That would be nice.
It would be nice to get. I don't even give a shit if it's fucking HD remastered. Just give me an ability to play it on my PS4 because I don't want to go out and buy a PS3 just for the sake of being able to play, the collection that they had on there.
Yeah.
Or some stupid ass guy on fucking Reddit was like, why would you, get a PS? He's like, why would it need to come to PS4? Why can't you just play it on the other systems? And this guy was like, well, I don't have every other one. He's like, and then a guy went and searched, and he was like, you can get everything for $380. And I was like, who the fuck is going to spend $380 to play a fucking series of games?
Yeah.
No one. Okay, no one's going to do that. So.
Also, shout-outs to Tom for joining us, and Adam.
Yeah, what's up, Tom?
And Eric. We've got all these friendly peeps.
What's up, bros? How's everything going?
Oh, you said they're not doing a collection? Oh, that sucks. Because I would like one. But sucks.
For fuck's sake. What's
makes
up,
me
badass
sad.
broski?
Badass broski, what's going on? And yes, ask away, by all means.
Yeah, ask any question you'd like. As long as it's not fucking retarded. Please don't be dumb.
Just regular retarded.
Okay, now I'm forcing you to make it retarded. Other than that, a couple other things from Tokyo Game Show I kind of wanted to just briefly go over.
Yeah.
Was that I know we're not starting this like we normally do, Alex, but I was just so excited.
No, man, we're breaking norms, man. We're breaking new ground.
So, well, first off, Dark Souls 3 has a release date and a new. So Dark Souls release date is actually set for March 3rd, 2016.
Mm-hmm.
The new trailer was fucking awesome.
Nice.
It was really cool. It's Dark Souls. It fucking looks like Dark Souls. Everything looks scary. It looks like it's gonna kill you. It will kill you.
Good.
Another thing, Amnesia's free for 24 hours, starting like 12 o'clock. So Amnesia's free on Steam for 24 hours. So if you don't have Amnesia, go onto Steam and buy it. How long have you been streaming for together and separately? So I never really streamed beforehand, but Alex streamed beforehand for quite a few years. And
a couple.
When the fuck did we start, Alex? Was it June?
It would have been It would have been before that because it was when I was still at my old job. It would have been, and because I got that job in May. I think we started around March or April.
Yeah, so
Sometime around
something
there.
like that.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so that's gonna be coming full circle real
It
quick.
is.
Then.
It will. Oh shit! Yeah, it is coming up, man.
Crazy. I love this though.
It's been
I
good.
enjoy every week.
It has.
So,
It has been something I look forward to every week. But and I know, yeah, Justin's had a channel on Twitch for, yeah, I guess a couple years now. And I know he's streamed on it before,
Just
and I know
odds
you've used it for Extra Life.
Yeah.
And I use it for odds and ends too. I don't have a regular schedule for mine. I try to when I can, but it's up in the air. It's pretty well understood that in order to have like a successful stream or channel rather, you need to have like a regular schedule. You need to have like some sort of structure to it. And my personal one is just the Wild West. There's no structure to it. And,
right.
And
like sometimes I want to stream, and sometimes I'm just like, I'd rather just play this, in my own personal comfort.
Yeah. Sometimes you're playing a game that lends itself well to streaming, like GTA, for example. Like that's always fun times. Or some single player games, other games, it can be a little tricky. But
I will say that I record every Payday pretty much that me and Amanda play, or anything we play with like other friends and stuff. So we played a couple with Tyler and stuff. We recorded those. So no, I don't watch WWE, unfortunately.
Yeah,
I did watch WWE when I was younger, but
back in the day.
Ended up getting out of that phase.
Yeah, and Adam, I have not tried out Depth yet. I did pick it up a couple days ago. It was on sale on the Humble Bundle site. I think it was down to like $8 or something like that, which is a pretty damn good deal. I think it's normally like 25 or something like that, or maybe $20. But I totes nabbed that shit, I haven't had a chance to play it yet, but I'm pretty excited to try that sucker out. I know.
I've heard very
loves that
good
game.
things about it.
Yeah.
Adam has been getting me to try to play it for a while now.
Yes.
And I just keep avoiding him.
Join us, Justin. Join us.
Join us or die.
Join us with D&D and join us with Depth.
I want to join D&D. I seriously do. And I bet Adam fucking sits at night and he's like, this cocksucker. Like, first off, he won't read my fucking books. He won't read the shit that I gave him, even though I tell him every week. And then he's like, and this fucking bastard isn't even coming whenever I scheduled this shit out. I'm sorry. I am sorry.
So salty.
So, I apologize.
I'll just keep guilting him into it, Adam. I'll get
eventually. Eventually we're gonna get there. Eventually, I'm gonna get there. Funny thing is, is that Brad now wants to start up a tabletop as well.
Really?
And he wants to do a Fallout type deal.
Ooh.
So
I've played a Fallout tabletop game. It was not fun time. I mean, it was not that it wasn't a fun time, but it was
right.
It was poorly made. It was
right.
Go ahead. Yeah.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say it was the one that I played. Maybe there are different versions of it, but the one that I played with some of my friends, we tried one session of it, and I'll never forget the moment where the game. It didn't so much jump the shark, but it jumped the radiated scorpion, whatever you want to call it. Where like it's myself and like 4 other people are standing around this gigantic bug, like this fairly large bug, like a foot across. So like, larger than a bug normally should be, with baseball bats surrounding it on all, like, it can't move, like people on all parts of the grid are covering it, and it's dodging all of our attacks. We could not hit it for several rounds. And I was like, okay, this is when I realized that this game is bullshit, because the mechanics just don't fucking make sense.
Okay.
So
I'll have to find whatever it's called.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, hit me up with the name, because I would be dubious.
It's like there's a bunch of scenarios that they already have kind of played out and stuff like that. So, but it'll be a nice new experience, I imagine, for all of us.
Mm-hmm.
But the only way Brad would do anything of this nature would be if it was in a survival fucking horrible situation, and I think Fallout is the perfect setting for him.
Yeah,
so.
I can see that. I mean, I'm sure there are others. Adam mentioned Shadowrun, which is a really, really good system. It's more like, there's the game Shadowrun. It's more like what am I thinking of, Adam? Blade Runner, like that style. Where it's not so much survival, but I mean there are survival elements to it. But I mean it's more about the urban jungle and the future dystopian, grimy Cowboy Bebop, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Which is awesome, and I fucking love it. But not quite what it sounds like you'd be looking for. I don't really know of any good like tabletop systems, or at least tabletop like pre-built settings or pre-built universes that are more survivally. In fact, Adam might
Right.
be able to. Let's see, Midnight or
I'm watching.
Super Dark.
He's just populating the chat here.
Yeah, survival based. Is Midnight the name? Oh, actually, yeah, I remember you talking about Midnight. That might be something to look into, because based on what Adam was describing to me, it sounded like it was very survival-y, like limited resources trying to get by.
Okay.
I mean, I'm sure Adam could describe it a lot better than I could, but Midnight was one that he has mentioned to me in the past. I think he runs a Midnight
I like
game right
Cyberpunk.
now.
Shadowrun's being Cyberpunk. That'll be pretty cool. I like
Shadowrun's
Cyberpunk themes.
awesome. Yeah.
So.
Now, I'll never forget there was one time where we tried 2 games. Like, we wanted to get really into Numenera, and then we tried Shadowrun just as a little side thing while we were preparing for Numenera. And we liked Shadowrun so much, we just ended up doing that for like a fucking year and just never really got into Numenera. Like, we were all prepped for Numenera and it just never fucking... I mean, but Shadowrun was just so fucking good. Lord of the Rings of Sauron 1. Okay. For Midnight, that is. Lord of the Rings of Sauron 1, and it's been 100 years. It's pretty fucking metal.
Holy shit. Yeah, that's dark.
Yeah, it's pretty dank. It's pretty dank. So yeah, that sounds pretty cool. That might be something. If nothing else, yeah, maybe look it up and maybe send it to Brad. Be like, hey, maybe this will be a thing. So
definitely.
Yeah.
So yeah, Amnesia is free. I don't know how did we get from Amnesia to that? I want to. We need to set up some sort of like game here where it's like like 5 stages of Kevin Bacon or whatever the fuck it is.
Right.
And it's how the fuck did we get here, basically.
Yeah, the telephone.
Yeah, so Amnesia is free for 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing, Mighty Number 9. So they made some pretty good stuff today.
Mm-hmm.
Just kidding, their trial demo was delayed again for all the backers. So
Not even
right. No.
Yep.
And then the last thing I have kind of for a random update is Project Morpheus is no longer Project Morpheus.
Yes.
It is officially Sony VR.
Yep.
So
it's a slightly less sexy name, but at least it's not a project anymore. It's an actual thing.
It's an actual thing. So.
Marketable
and I was kind
name.
of waiting for that to happen.
Yeah.
So from what I hear, it's extremely good.
Oh yeah.
So it's kind of like I have heard from the people that have reviewed it along with other VRs. They say it's pretty much how should I say? It's pretty much Oculus Rift, but more on par with Steam's VR than Oculus Rift. So
the competition is fierce.
It is. I like it.
No, I do too.
They're creating good shit,
and
this is what we need. You need actual competition to. You don't need competition to make something great, but it makes you strive to make something great.
Oh, yeah.
So.
I would argue that you do kind of need competition to make something great.
For
the most part. Yeah. Well, in a case like this where it's kind of emerging technology, I mean, that's, it's pretty cutting edge, and, I mean, this is the first time where it's, like, getting to the point where, like, it's consumer ready and, like, consumer affordable, and hopefully... relatively easy to set up and easy to install. We'll figure that out when the time comes, but it's an exciting time, man.
D-Man?
D-Man, what's up, man? Late to
the party. You just need to actually be like Gandalf. You're never late or early. You just arrive precisely when you need to.
Yes, he just is.
So, anyways, let's go ahead and let's start the stream now.
Woo! All right, stream's up.
Anyways, so what have we been doing for the past week? What games have we been divulging in? And anything that has happened? I'll let you start this time, Alex.
Okay.
I've been going first for a while now.
No, by all means. You'll be happy to know, or you could relay this news to Amanda. I nabbed the additional 2 Me Plaza games for the 3DS, so the zombie one and the fishing one. Totes nabbed that shit, because it's getting to the point now where I'm getting kind of close to beating some of the... Well, I've already beaten a couple of the existing ones, and the remaining ones we're getting there. So I was like, I need something to fill that void. So nab those suckers, and the zombie one... I mean, they're both really fun, but the zombie one is very good for quick and satisfying exploration, zombie killing badassery.
I think that's the only one she's actually purchased so far was the zombie one, and she fucking loves that one. I actually have her DS with me right now, and I'm just trying to pick up as many street passes as I can. Fucking zero.
You're a good. Wow.
Zero.
You're
2
trying.
airports, nothing.
You're trying. That's what matters. It's the
Bullshit,
tries.
Alex.
You can't measure tries in a number of in like a Me Plaza count thing, Alex.
Right.
Jerk. Yeah.
So I do have it with me, but yeah, no street passes so far.
And it can be tricky, you know. I mean, there were a number of events I attended over this past weekend, and a lot of them were nerdy and video game themed. And you're damn right, I had my 3DS on me at all times, and it was motherfucking Street Pass City the whole fucking time. So it depends on where you go. I'll go weeks at a time without getting
how's
shit.
How's MagFest for street passes?
Oh man, MagFest is the reason why I have over 1,000 people in my plaza. MagFest alone, holy shit.
So, like, I'm imagining every time you clear out those 10 people, there's just another 10 that immediately appear.
See, the way the queue works is that, so as you know, there's a queue size of 10. Well, actually, you may not know, but there's a queue size of 10s. When you fill up that 10 people, then you got to empty that queue out. But the way the queue...
We filled the 10 up at Disney.
Okay, yeah. Good example. And then you might know that so that when you enter the plaza and you have the line of me's that greet you and give you stuff.
Yes.
When you reach that screen, the queue becomes 0. So technically, it's a queue of 20. Technically, and what happens at MagFest is that by the time, I won't move anywhere. I'll just be existing in a singular place in this universe within MagFest, and I will do the greeting for those 10 people. They'll come to the gate. I'll wave them in. It'll progress to the next screen, and I'll get a pop-up that says, "Hey, you have some visitors." I check my notifications.
Right.
10 motherfuckers already, cause goddamn, that shit's bonkers. So, yeah, MagFest is heaven for me in a number of ways. Me Plaza Street Passes is one of them.
Oh, I'm sure. Street Pass is such an awesome idea.
I love it. I fucking love it.
I'm actually kind of excited for the new Pokemon game.
Yeah.
So, what was it? Pokemon what? World
There's
or something?
Pokemon
like
Go. The
That's
cell phone, the smartphone one, yeah.
So, I see that working potentially exactly how fucking Street Pass works anyways.
In a lot of ways, yeah.
I'm actually kind of excited for that. I think that's going to be pretty fun.
I am too. Well, I should have. I don't think either of us put this on the list, but yeah, Pokemon Go. That's a good ass topic, because in fact, we'll talk about that. We'll have that as a topic. So yeah, we'll visit that in a minute.
Yeah, I'm adding it to the list right now.
Yeah, good man. Good man. And D-Man playing Dark Souls, that's what I like to see. I fucking
Actually,
love
I
that
did
shit.
see D-Man playing Dark Souls on Steam. So I saw his little tag pop up when I was playing Cook Serve Delicious.
Nice.
Which is seriously one of the most addicting games I've
heard
ever
it's
played
awesome.
in my life.
Yeah.
It is insanely fun, and it is just you operate a fucking eatery. But yeah, I saw him log in quite a few times or start up Dark Souls.
Love it.
And he's joining. He's playing.
Soon he'll be one of ours. And he'll never see the sun again.
Thank you. Effort does count. I am trying. Trying.
Oh, man. And yeah, it works off the Ingress engine. Yeah, I have a lot of friends a couple of friends, rather, that play it. Well, it feels like I know a lot of people that play Ingress. Well, the reality is that I know a couple of people that play Ingress, but they play the shit out of it, so I hear about it all the fucking time.
What the fuck is Ingress? Hold on, I'm looking it up now.
You might have heard about it. It's similar to the Pokemon Go. It's a smartphone augmented reality game where, based on, and Adam could probably describe it better than I could. I don't know if he's played it, but I know we know a few people that play it as well. But as I understand it, there's a couple of teams. I think there's just 2 teams, and you get points for your team by visiting certain hotspots that exist throughout the country. Really.
That's actually pretty cool.
And they're not and it's not limited to just big cities or to just big landmarks. There are just certain buildings that just have an ingress. Maybe it's not a server, but an ingress. I guess you would just call it a hotspot set up. And I think it's just a matter of going to those hotspots and having the app running. You're building up points, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Adam described it perfectly. Geocaching, where you're rewarded for exploring your hack portals. That's the word. Thank you, Adam.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I actually liked the idea of geocaching. Never done it, and I believe. Okay, I'm gonna fucking download this app now because this just sounds cool.
I've heard it's really cool. It's really good for exploring your surroundings. Obviously, geocaching is exactly for exploring, but in this case, it's also urban environments. In fact, I think it's mainly urban environments. But like,
well, I'm sure
you drive around and you pop up the GPS. Let's find this place Or I know some guys that like they have one near where they work, so that's like on their lunch break they'll go chill out there for a bit, or however they want to fucking do it.
Yeah.
And actually, that's interesting. I didn't realize that there was an in-depth story to it, as Adam mentions. That might be something to mention. And Justin does travel, as we know. He's live from Virginia right now.
Yeah, here we go. Good old Virginia backwoods. Here we go.
Get hype. Get the hype. But anyway, so I digress. As for other shit that I've been playing, Killing Floor 2, of course, Payday 2, of course. Not a whole lot more than that. It's been a pretty slow gaming week for me, but hopefully this weekend I'll be able to make up for make up for. I don't want to say lost time. I had a very busy weekend, but in a good way. It just means you can't play as many video games. But how about you, Mr. Justin?
Oh, okay. First off, I'll just mention that I was playing Cook Serve Delicious. So it's initially a game I bought for Amanda because Amanda loves the cook and serve games. Like the ones where you're like a waiter and you wait tables and shit like that. And I was like, I bought this at a Humble Bundle. I would say probably 6 months ago. And she never played it. And then the other day I was looking through the library and she's like, what is this? It's installed on my computer. And I was like, oh, Cook Serve Delicious. I was like, I think I bought that for you like with a Humble Bundle or something like 6 months back. And she was like, okay. And then she was like, I'm going to try it. And then she likes it because you can use the controller. You can use the controller to actually do movement in the game. I personally like the keyboard because it's a lot faster, I think. But I think that's just my personal playstyle.
Yeah.
The game is supremely difficult, and it stresses me out. So I'm already stressed from fucking work.
Yep.
And then I come home, and I'm like, I'm going to play a good game. Cook, Serve, Delicious. And then I just get re-stressed. I'm like, oh, why the fuck did I play this game? But insanely fun. I would recommend anyone look up Cook Serve Delicious. I think there's a number 2 out now. I would just recommend picking up that one. But I'm sure it's cheap. But it has a lot of play value. It has really good. It's really fun. The other games I've been playing, I haven't really played much Payday, to be honest. I think Diablo has been taking over my life so far. The new season is just so good. I know I mentioned it a bunch of times before, but it is literally the best thing that has happened to Diablo since it, or Diablo 3 since it released. So, me and Kyle have been playing that. We leveled a couple new characters. The leveling system is completely revamped as far as being able to. Okay, so this is what happens. You get to max level. You do these greater rifts. And you level up these gems. So the gems have a potential to level 3 times each time you do a greater rift. Once you get to level 25, there's this certain gem at level 25 that makes it to where you combine it into an item with a socket. So it's a gem, you put it into a socket, and it removes the level requirement from the weapon or any item that you use. So what we did was we have a bunch of XP items and a bunch of bonus XP from Paragon levels and whatnot. And the gear we have. So we decided, let's make a new character and we'll try, we have these weapons and we'll just fucking level up that way. Oh my God. That is the fastest I've ever leveled. Ever. We were level 40 within like 10 minutes. And this is not being power level. This is just us actually physically doing the work. Like this, it's me and him both making new characters. And I think it only took us about maybe an hour and a half to actually reach 70. So
nice. Damn. It was really impressive then.
Yeah, it was insane. It was very insane. Right now, currently, you can hit level 70 in about 4 to 5 hours, I think. So that's the normal going rate right now is about 4 to 5 hours. Not doing the story mode. Story mode still takes for fucking ever. Yeah. But doing adventure mode and doing rifts will just level you incredibly quick. But yeah, the game is incredibly good. I'm loving every bit of it. So. Nice. Other than that, I haven't really been playing much. Simple Plains had an update. I'm a sucker for fucking sandbox games, so that has been pretty fun. Simple Plains. So Simple Plains. Have you ever played a game called Simple Rockets? I think I've explained it before.
I don't know.
No?
I don't think so.
Oh, really?
I'd have to look it up.
There's a game called Simple Rockets. I think that was their first game. I could be mistaken, but I think Simple Rockets was their first game. Basically, it's a 2D Kerbal space program. So you make rockets and stuff like that, and it teaches you trajectories and stuff, but it's all done on a 2D plane.
Okay.
Well, then they made Simple Planes, which is a 3D environment, and you make planes. It's essentially Kerbal, but very watered down Kerbal. So you put blocks together like Minecraft,
No.
and then you kind of fly from there. But it also is mobile friendly, so you can actually get it on iPhone and Android. So you can get them on both and PC. They run excellent, but they just had a huge update that made it to where you can actually the physical propeller, you can control what the blades do, how they react, and everything. So it's just a very fun sandboxy game that passes by time.
Yeah.
So other than that, I haven't really been playing anything else.
Good
so.
stuff. Good stuff. Saw D-Man mention that
good.
the Undead Berg has been kicking his ass, and yes, that's an appropriate response or an appropriate thing to witness, and spoiler alerts, but the ass kicking continues in a good way. Like, you learn to enjoy it. It's like a masochistic type thing, and
right.
Yes, Dexter is squeaking viciously. my attack dog Dexter is showing that squeaky toy who's boss. So, yes. Don't try not to be frightened if you hear terrifying noises in the background.
Oh my god, Dexter is so goddamn cute.
He is.
He
is
really
a dog.
is.
He's a tiny dog. Yeah.
Eric, you said that Kathleen loves that game. What were you talking about? What's it? Cook Serve Delicious? Was that the one you were talking about?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
It's so addicting. You should play it.
That's how those games make it, man. Those things are made to just destroy your life from the inside out.
I was actually about to say the Pringles. Once you pop, the fun don't stop. But Brad referenced that to me like 2 weeks ago, and he said that's about him. And if he were to kill somebody, that once you pop, it won't stop. And he just basically confirmed my suspicion that he's actually a psycho murderer.
Right.
So, yeah.
So yeah, once he's like, what's that class of barbarian where you enter bloodlust and anything that's living in front of you dies.
He's obsessed with Vikings, by the way, so I'm almost positive that would be him.
Yeah, I can see that. But the living hell, living hell, literally out of that game. That's all I like to hear. Which Smoothie King does sound like for Rabbit. I haven't even eaten dinner yet because I've been such a tizzy.
Yeah, I probably need to go get fucking food before I start working tonight. Oh my god, I don't want to think about it.
Gross.
Games and shit. I don't want grown-up shit.
They just get in the way of what's really important.
Right.
Like video games.
So, let's get into our topics, Alex.
Yep.
First on the topic, Pokemon Go.
Pokemon Go, baby. Goddamn right.
So, we already basically just went over everything that Pokemon Go is going to have. So
in a lot of ways.
I guess we don't really know yet. Do we?
I mean, I don't think it's out yet. I'm pretty sure
we've seen it. No, it's not out. But I'm saying we really don't know any information other than the fucking trailer.
I think there's been some general information. I think the idea behind it is that
Oh, okay.
I saw something where someone was describing a potential scenario, and I read it and I was like, when I first heard about Pokemon Go, I was just kind of like, it's all right. It sounds all right. Yeah, Adam's like, man, you guys have been shitting around for 30 minutes.
How long have we been going? We're just now getting to topics.
Sounds about right. It's pretty, normal for our streams.
This is normal,
yeah. It kind of is, isn't it? Yeah. But yeah, I was reading something online, and like I said, when I first heard about Pokemon Go, I was kind of like, it sounds alright, but it didn't really sound like my thing. I'll probably skip it. But I read something that made me reconsider, because the person was like, he imagines it where, if, say, this person is in a part of town that he or she is not familiar with, and here's the phone buzz, like, hey, there's a Pokemon nearby, little something. So whips out the phone. It says it's in this general area. So okay, well, fuck it, I'll go exploring. Go to this part of town that maybe you don't get to see very often. Oh, hey, cool, motherfucking cookie shop or something like that. That's really cool. Let's while I'm here, I'll check that out as well. And you might have a really cool experience there. Like, yeah, man, I had this really awesome cookie or this really awesome dessert kind of thing. I can't remember how he or she described it. But the idea behind it is that you could attach a story to this Pokemon that you caught, and leave it there for anyone else who comes by. So it's like, yeah, I named this particular Pokemon that I caught after the type of dessert that I got.
That is awesome.
You have this memory that you're leaving, kind of Dark Souls-esque, for anyone else that swings by that area. So I was like, that could really introduce some interesting AR possibilities. So I'm hoping that
Yeah.
that it does allow for cool shit like that.
That would be awesome. That right there. I don't give a shit if it's a Pokemon game or not. It could be like a knockoff.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
I'd still fucking play it for that.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
that's
that
so
might
awesome.
be enough to convince me. I don't know.
Yeah. So, and oh man, I was thinking back to the Dark Souls notes. It's like, please don't go in here. And then there's that note that's like, go in there.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there would be one off of a cliff, and it's like, try jumping. Okay, I jump, and I just fucking die. God damn it.
Yeah.
Troll fucking
Exactly.
orange soapstone messages. Gosh.
Yep.
The nerve.
There's sometimes so many too.
Yeah.
Like there would just be like a room filled with them, and you're just like, what the fuck? What happened
Whose
here?
advice do I listen to? And the ones that have the upvotes, should I trust them?
Just wing it.
Yeah, just wing it. Just wing it.
I think it's a good idea. I like that. I need to read up more information about it because that
Chance.
just in general just sounds fucking awesome.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'm certainly hopeful. Did they announce a release date? Actually, I'm trying to think. I can't remember.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't recall them saying anything about a release date, but I just know that trailer came out, and then I saw a bunch of people come out with their fucking pitchforks and publicly hang and shame a Mewtwo. So
all is well then. Good times. Good times.
So, yeah. So Pokemon Go is a definite. Looks good.
Get hype.
It gives my 2 thumbs up for hype.
Sweet.
The train has started leaving the station.
Choo choo, motherfucker. 2016. Okay. So still a ways up, but we'll get there.
Oh yeah,
We'll get there. Yeah.
Let's see. Just 2016 for Pokemon Go. Okay. So it talked a little bit about Kingdom Hearts 2.8. We can pass over that. New Nintendo CEO.
Yes.
What is his name, Alex? Because I don't want to butcher it.
I thought I put it up on the list. I haven't heard it. I haven't heard it pronounced out loud. So I
All right,
would...
Tatsumi Kimishima.
Sounds good.
I may have got that.
Sounds very Nintendo-y. Yeah.
So yeah, I was actually reading his biography on Wikipedia, and I was just kind of going because I've actually personally never heard his name. You know, I don't know who he is and stuff like that. But apparently he was, or he is currently the president of Nintendo of America from January 2002.
Well.
Oh wait, hold on.
No, because Reggie is
until
currently.
May 2006. Yeah, so Reggie took his place. And then
Reg.
now he is the CEO of Nintendo Incorporated.
Yes.
You know,
overall, yeah, the whole shebang.
Yes, over the whole thing.
Yes.
So, and then I was kind of reading more and more into it. So apparently he joined. So he worked at a bank.
Yes, he's financial
for 27 years. So he is a financial man. So he worked there. And he was like all over the fucking place, like New York, Los Angeles, California, San Francisco, the Caribbean. And then he decided that, okay, I'm going to move my financial stuff and go and work for the Pokemon Company.
Damn right.
So he left and he joined the Pokemon Company in 2000 as the chief financial officer.
Okay.
2001, he was appointed president of Pokemon USA Incorporated. What a fucking baller. Okay, you start working for a company in 2000, and then you're like, nah, this is my company now.
Yeah. Bitches.
1 year later.
Kick the door in. It's my fucking house. Get that shit out of here.
So, and he was around whenever Pokemon Gold and Silver released, and then Pokemon Crystal. So, and then, let's see.
All very successful releases.
Yeah, holy shit. So, and then basically it just gets into more detail about his family and shit. But
yeah.
He eventually became the CEO of Nintendo America, and then
president. Nintendo America.
President. Sorry, CEO. President of Nintendo America.
the chief
chief
enterprise officer of this one part of the company.
And then he gave it over to Reggie in 2006.
I like to think that Reggie like hulked out. Like he didn't give it to me. He took it for by Reggie's like DK just get that shit just completely tears it out of his hands.
First off, Reggie is the scariest human being ever.
I would love to meet Reggie. He seems like
I posted a link in the chat for everyone to look at, so you can just look into the eyes of Reggie.
Tell me it's the face.
Well, it's not. It's not his. It's not the meme face. It's
Oh,
not.
okay.
I don't know if it.
Oh, it's not. Yeah, I did the mouse over, and yeah, he's a funny looking dude. And Reggie, if you're watching, I love you, man. But yeah, he's kind of a funny looking guy. But so am I. I can't front. Yeah, but it's hard not to laugh. It really isn't.
Jesus.
And
this is fucking great.
Well, what I like about that picture is that we all, you see the picture, but then you think of the personality that tell me that's the face. Please, God, tell me that's it. It's quickmeme.com. It's gotta be it. Oh, come on, mouse over. I'm just gonna wait. Just gonna wait for it to load. But I mean, yeah, we of course see the goofy faces, but then we know Reggie, the character that we see in the Nintendo Directs and that we see in presentations.
Right.
And that's the part that I really laugh at when I see Reggie. So that's, it's not really so much that he's funny looking. It's just the character that he portrays, at least. And obviously, we have no idea if that's how he really is, but he really. Man, Justin loves this, and it won't come up on.
Fucking killing me.
It's not coming up on the preview, and I don't want to open it because I don't want to fuck up the streaming stuff.
Right, understandable.
But I'll check it out later. But yeah, I fucking love Reggie. But no, I have high hopes for this guy. I know that one thing I was kind of surprised by is that it's, at least for the time being, mentioned that his term as CEO will be for 1 year, and that's it. So it's kind of an interim dealio. Whereas Miyamoto and the second gentleman were filling in as interim. Now we have an interim president, CEO rather. Fuck, now I'm doing it. An interim CEO. And I don't know if this is the main reason for it, but I know that Iwata expressed interest in having a younger person succeed him, or someone, maybe not necessarily younger than him, but someone of the younger demographic. And by younger, we probably mean like age 40 to 50 or something.
Right. Someone who's closer to the generation that you're trying to sell to. So
probably, and there's some virtue to that. I mean, obviously, experience is hardly ever a bad thing, but at the same time, someone that's closer to having that finger on the pulse can make a big difference.
Yes.
So. But yeah, I still have high hopes. I know, like Justin mentioned, he has quite the pedigree of a background. He knows his shit. I'm sure his years as the president of Nintendo of America served him well, or will serve him well.
Yeah.
And I know that one thing that a lot of people pointed out, that he was one of the, I don't know if you want to say dissenters, but he was one of the ones that voiced concern about the Wii U as a successful platform. And a lot of people would argue that it has not been successful. I love my Wii U, but I mean, I've got to admit, it's had some shit. It's had to deal with some shit, rather.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people see that as like, oh, well, I mean, he kind of called it, so, yeah, maybe since probably this time next year we'll hopefully have more information. We'll have gotten more information about the NX, whatever it might be. So, yeah, I mean, if he's going to be at the helm for when we at least learn more about it, maybe there's going to be some virtue to that. So, we'll see. I have high hopes, and he's not going to replace Iwata, but I hope that he will, do a good job, at least trying to fill those shoes for the time being.
Yeah.
And who knows, maybe if he does a good job, maybe they will keep him around for longer. I guess we'll have to see what happens. Nothing is set in stone. Seems like a cool bro, though. Like a cool
I hope he does well.
I do too.
So I have high hopes.
Mm-hmm.
They desperately need someone like Iwata, though, I think.
Yeah.
To kind of get very close to the community, because he was extremely well respected, not only from the Nintendo community, but pretty much the entire gaming community.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, I respected him greatly, and I am in no means a Nintendo fanboy by a long stretch. But I mean, Alex actually has his face tattooed on his arm.
I have my face tattooed on my arm, and
Alex has his own face.
I have
Alex glass of water.
I have a tattoo of my own face on my arm, and on the face, the tattoo face of Alex, is a tattoo of Iwata. And on his face is a tattoo of me, so you have to look really close. It's a really large tattoo. Yeah.
God.
That would be, yeah, recursive tattoos.
I imagine that it's just a sleeve at this point.
Yeah, it's just an entire. I actually had additional skin grafted onto my arm to give me more real estate to work with. But no, I agree. I think one of Iwata's many strong points was the fact that he was such a public face for the company, right up there with Reggie and with Miyamoto. These people that almost are themselves characters that kind of became larger than their real life components, and made appearances in videos and presentations and made it so that when you saw their faces or you saw them talking, you knew that it was Nintendo. Even if you didn't know their name, you knew the face or you knew the silly hand gestures. Everything was so well crafted as being, and I'm sure a lot of it was crafted, but was so well done, I think, and it never felt to me like it came off as hokey or as being forced or corporate,
Right.
as so much that stuff tends to do, and you can see that where, a company will like open up a Facebook page and spam it with memes that are just like contrived and kind of gross. So,
Yeah.
you see that shit all the time. Like companies try to get to that golden zone of like seriousness, but also internet goofiness. So I don't know. High hopes.
Yeah,
High
indeed.
hopes.
Very high hopes. So, well, it's only a year, I guess.
Mhm.
Potentially,
Yeah.
if they find somebody else. So,
We'll see.
obviously, it could be longer. So,
Mm.
yeah, only time will tell. One other thing that was kind of in the news was the 38 Studios and Kurt Schilling stuff.
Yeah,
So
I saw your
they
post
had
about
another
that.
right. So, but I misinterpreted it.
Okay.
I misinterpreted the lawsuit. So apparently, this is being awarded to the state, not actually Kurt Schilling.
Okay.
So the settlement is actually against Kurt Schilling, obviously. So like the case itself was against Kurt Schilling
Okay.
and against 38 Studios, basically saying that it's so stupid. This fucking whole lawsuit is utter garbage.
Give us a brief overview, because I tried reading about
Okay.
it and didn't get a chance to go into it.
So 38 Studios got a loan. So Kurt
Okay.
Schilling got a loan from the state. I think it's whatever is it Rhode Island, I believe. It's either Rhode Island, something like that, or Maryland, one of the two. Got a or New Jersey. I can't remember. He got a loan from the state though. Basically, it was a loan for like creative beginnings. So it was a $75 million loan.
Whew.
Technically, it's not even really a loan. It was like a grant. It was
Okay.
supposed to be a grant. It was supposed to be money that you could just have if you were going to make something with creative license or create something like that would be a job in the state that people could work at.
Okay.
So Kurt Schilling did that, and then they
Okay.
made Kingdoms of Amalur.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Right. So Kingdoms of Amalur, absolutely amazing game. I am so sad I did not play it at the time of release.
Oh,
It was, like it was a game that I hadn't heard much about. There wasn't a ton of advertisement on it. It came from a pretty small studio. I mean,
Yeah.
38 Studios didn't make anything else. They only made
Yeah.
Kingdoms of Amalur. And I so you kind of question that, but it ended up being one of the best games I've ever played. The story was
Nice.
absolutely fantastic. But the thing is that they had really good sales, but they never recouped all of the funds. So they had no DLC planned or anything like that for the game. So they had no way of actually supplementing the amount of money that they invested. Well, the thing is, the state then sued them. By the way, only like a year later. So like they gave them no time to give this money back or no
Nice.
time to repay the loan. They fucking sued the piss out of 38 Studios, and then 38 Studios shut down because they were like,
Oh,
okay, well, we can't pay our fucking employees anymore. We can't do this. We're gonna shut down the studios, and basically with that died the fucking any chance of them getting money back, the state getting money back. So then. I should say they hadn't sued them yet, but when 38 Studios decided to close because of the sales were getting so poor, and there's some other shit going on with the governor and people blocking the sales of the game within the state or some shit. It was so fucking stupid. Basically, they didn't want a game creation. They didn't want a game studio in the state,
Okay.
right? So they wanted to try to basically get it out any way possible. Well, they succeeded. Kurt Schilling luckily was able to kind of, mend some fences with some of the developers and stuff, and actually ended up getting them different jobs at different studios.
Okay.
A lot of other studios kind of supported them and was like, please hire these guys. They do amazing work. So I
Yeah.
think everyone that worked at 38 Studios got a job somewhere else. So that's kind of a good thing. But Kurt Schilling's still being sued into oblivion, trying to get money back. And the comments that I read on these fucking articles are so infuriating because people have no idea what the hell happened.
Yeah.
And they're just like, I'm glad that Kurt Schilling's having to pay the government back. Are you fucking stupid? It was a fucking grant to start off with, first off. And then they decided that it was a loan. And then they decided to sue him because they were like, we're not getting any of that money back. So, yeah, now they're just sucking money from Kurt Schilling. Even though he's fucking fought so hard to fucking try to get these developers actual jobs. He tried to, help the studio out. and he's a gamer himself, even
Yeah.
though he did play Major League Baseball for I don't know how many years.
Wow.
So
I didn't know
yeah,
that.
he was a he's actually a pretty he's I don't know, he's like one of the most well-known pitchers in the MLB.
Oh,
So yeah,
goes to show
I
how closely
I
I
even
follow
think he has
baseball.
hold on, I think he even has games named after him.
Damn. Damn, son.
Hold on. So
Yeah.
let's see.
Goes to show how closely I follow baseball. Yeah, I had not heard of him prior to your article you posted. Um, and sadly, it sounds like this is a cautionary tale of like, them saying what, being offered one thing and then the fine print somewhere. And I'm sure there was some bullshit loophole where they were like, when you sign this, you actually signed, our ability to do this and this, and we're gonna do that because we're legally able to because of your signature, and
Right.
some sort of thing where maybe they did frame it as a grant, and in all technicality, it was actually a loan. Or I would be the first to admit that I don't know how, I hardly know how any of that shit works.
Right, and it's a fucked up system. Law in general, I wouldn't be able to explain it. I would need somebody, one of my friends in law, to be able to explain the workings of how this lawsuit even fucking made it.
Yeah.
So,
And apparently it's working if they were awarded, some fairly large sum based on that article.
right.
So, and at
Yeah.
the end of the
So
article,
far they've
I'm sorry, go ahead.
so far they've got back. Oh geez. So it says 3 years after 38 Studios blew up and saddled Rhode Island taxpayers with more than 120 million. This is how this article is, by the way. This one I just
You can tell it's not biased, right?
You could tell it's not biased at all. 3 years
Was that
after
Fox
38
News?
Studios blew up and no, fuck, I'm surprised. Rhode Island taxpayers with more than 112 million in debt.
Thanks,
No,
Obama.
your fucking state did that, you idiots. So
Yeah, it makes me question, and you mentioned at one point that it was partly because the state government doesn't want an in-state game developer studio. Was there an explanation of why they don't want one?
I'm trying to
Or
think.
rather,
Hold
was
on.
so first off, was that something that they explicitly said, like, we don't want a game developer studio, like, or was that just
I
something
think
people
so.
have?
So
Okay.
let's see. So he partnered with fucking Todd McFarlane. So comic book creator Todd McFarlane and
Okay.
R.A. Salvatore. And he worked with
Oh,
them to
damn.
create. So he made the story. So R.A. Salvatore made the story for Kingdoms of Amalur.
Yeah, I can see that.
And then they created Green Monster Games, and then that didn't work, so they changed the name to 38 Studios. So
Okay.
then they started making the game in 2008. It was a single player RPG, so we already knew that. And then they brought it to Comic-Con 2010. July 2010, Rhode Island Board of Economics Development approved a $75 million guaranteed loan to 38 Studios. 38 Studios promising to bring 450 jobs to the state by the end of 2012. Here's the kicker. Okay, so in May 2012, 38 Studios defaulted on its loan from the state and failed to meet payroll obligations to employees. 38 Studios and its subsidiary Big Huge Games then laid off their staffs with a mass email. Some of the laid off employees have had second mortgages because the company had not actually sold homes for them as part of the relocation package. Oh my God. Some of them have accused Schilling of hypocrisy based on the conflict between his professed views of big government and the studio's relationship with big government. On November 1st, 2012, Schilling was sued by the state in connection with the loan. My message to Rhode Islanders. Oh, so this is the governor at the time. My message to Rhode Islanders is this: I know you work hard for your paychecks and for your tax dollars. To be squandered is unacceptable. The board's legal action was taken to rectify the grave injustice put up against the people of Rhode Island. So it looks like they gave him a loan. The game didn't do as good as possible or good as it was supposed to do. There is some stuff here that they didn't add. I'll have to dig up because back when this was happening, I was actually listening to Podcast Beyond, which is they're now the Kind of Funny guys on YouTube and on Twitch. But they kind of were explaining how everything was going at the time.
Yeah.
And it wasn't rumor mill, it was straight up facts on how the state of Rhode Island was perceiving everything. And there's not all the information here that needs to be. So I'm actually going to do some digging for next week because I want to be able to kind of explain what the fuck exactly happened because this is definitely not how it exactly went down. So
because the way that article is worded, it does paint him out to be the bad guy, and it sure makes it sound like it. Like you meant at the very beginning, it says it was a loan, and of course, as we all know, loans you gotta pay that shit back.
You do have to pay back, yeah.
But if it was, like you'd said, if there was not if there was a lack of clarity at the beginning saying whether it was a grant or a loan, that makes a huge difference as to like how or if you pay it back.
Right.
Yeah, it sounds like this is a quite the iceberg that we've got a glimpse at.
So now I'm gonna have to actually do actual research on this to find out. So I'll probably have to look into some podcast logs to figure out the one they talk about it. So, but so far they've collected $16.87 million from Curt Schilling as far as repaying the loan. So
well, $75 million. I mean, that's a lot of fucking money.
A hefty fucking chunk of change.
And I ask this sincerely: has any game made that much in a year? $75 million. I literally don't know. I'm not sure.
Grand
I'm not
Theft Auto 5, probably?
I'm not asking to be like to like be facetious. Like I literally don't know if a game has made that much money because that's a lot of fucking money. And I wonder if that's a realistic expectation. And I just don't know.
I don't think it is, and I'm just gonna have to do more research on it because I honestly don't know. I don't know the full details anymore.
I mean, a game. So it's a studio that's that was just started. Even if it was full of industry veterans, I don't know. $75 million in 1 year, and that's a loan. That's not including interest. So interest would probably bump you up to at least $100 million. That seems like such an and if it was a loan, what sane person would have signed for it? I don't know. The more I think about it, the weirder the weirder it gets.
The weirder it sounds. Like why would first off, why would Curt Schilling be like, okay, give me like a couple of years, I'll bring 450 jobs and I'm gonna pay back this whole $75 million loan.
I question that. Yeah, that doesn't sound. I don't know. It's just fucking weird, man. I just don't know. I just don't know, man.
I need to find the details on the loan.
Yeah.
Like, I need to find out like what was the details, and why was everyone so quick to get this money back? Fucking video games take time to make money back. That's no joke. Like, it's a huge investment, and you typically don't make your money back within like even the first 2 years.
Yeah. Well, and based on what the article had mentioned, it sounded like he had defaulted on a loan payment, so which would make sense that it would be an installment.
Right.
So you wouldn't have to pay that all back all at once. But I don't know. It's just
something's fucked up.
I think we could both benefit from more research on this topic because it sounds like it sounds like it gets kind of messy.
I'm now writing more research required.
Yeah. Well, and even on top of that messiness, I did read at the bottom of, I think it was that article, or maybe there was something else I'd read, but maybe Justin, you could double check this, but it sounded like he had also announced that he had tested positive for cancer. So as if shit couldn't get worse.
I'm sure he did.
Yeah.
Let me look up. I'm sure as if he did, Wikipedia will tell me something.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, like it was like a really quick footnote at the bottom of an article. One of the articles that I tried looking at. And I can't remember if it was the one that you had sent, but like I was like, holy shit, is that real? And like I said, I neglected to follow up on any of it because I'm a shitty person. But
so they released. Okay, first off, this is the most fishy thing. This is what makes you fucking wonder what the fuck went on supremely. Is that they released the game and then 3 months later they closed.
Right. Which is not usually a good sign.
Right. So how do you even fucking release a game if you're that far into financial troubles?
Probably pulling crazy, ridiculous crunch hours and causing everyone to work like 100-hour work weeks. I mean, it's possible, and game developers have done it, but usually it's like, when they're on a shoestring, and it sounds like these guys probably were. But, the more I hear, the weirder it gets. The weirder on both sides of the fence.
So it looks like in 2014 he was announced that he had been diagnosed and was being treated for throat cancer.
Okay.
August 20th, he said that he was in remission, and he mentioned that the cancer was a result of using smokeless tobacco for 30 years.
I mean, that'll do it.
That'll get you.
That will do it. It's good that it's in remission, though. I was worried that it was only that he'd only been recently diagnosed. It's like, God, he's got to deal with all this bullshit too on top of that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I hope I don't know. I hope we at least get the answers, the truth. But that sounds like it's pretty awful on both sides of the fence. The more I hear about it, but I don't know. Guess we'll see.
Right. One last thing I wanted to get to before we end the stream is that you and I was going to, but I didn't get a chance to see the Zelda Symphony that was actually in St. Louis.
Yes.
How was it?
It was. So a lot of people know that I go to concerts fairly frequently. Usually a couple a month. I'm going to one tomorrow. In fact, Adam knows the one that I'm going to is one that he himself was going to go to, but is unavailable to do so. But it was the best concert I've ever seen. It was so fucking
God,
good.
I'm so jealous. Man.
I mean, Justin knows that. Every person that fucking knows me knows that I'm the huge Nintendo fanboy. Specifically, I'm a
Yes.
huge Zelda fanboy. I love that
Yes.
series. It's one of my favorites, if not the favorite series.
Right.
And I knew going into it this was going to be good. A lot of people don't know this, and I sometimes forget about it too, but the St. Louis Symphony is a big fucking deal. They are
Yeah, I think they won a
world-renowned.
Grammy. I think they won a Grammy.
They've won several Grammys over the
Several,
years,
yeah.
and they won this year's for classical performance. They're renowned around the world for being the real fucking deal. These guys are really, really fucking good. So I knew going in it was going to be badass. I was going to hear a whole lot of good music, and it was going to be a treat, being performed by all these world class musicians.
Right.
I had high expectations going in, and those expectations were still tremendously blown away within the first opening bars.
I'm so upset. I'm so upset.
It was so disgustingly good. It was a little bit over 2 hours, probably about 2 hours and 15 minutes long. They played music across just about all the like. They didn't play any music from Link's Awakening, which was a little bit of a bummer. And they didn't do anything from like the Oracles of Games, Oracles of Ages or Seasons. But they did just about every fucking thing else. They of course did a lot from Ocarina, a bunch from Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, Skyward Sword, Majora's Mask, which was a treat. Link to the Past. They even did some from Phantom Hourglass and a pretty good chunk from A Link Between Worlds. So they did a really good job of covering a good amount of ground in that two and less than a half hours.
And it was just fucking amazing.
It was. I have a hard time remembering. Like, I have a hard time thinking back to a time when I was that moved by a concert. And this is music that I'd heard all my life, and that's probably why it was so enjoyable for me, and why it was so touching to me. Because these are games that I've cherished for years. These games mean a lot to me. This music means a lot to me, and the memories that I have associated with both of them means a lot to me. So I was probably the perfect target audience for it, and that's probably I'll be the first to admit. Of course, I'm biased when I say it was the best fucking show I've ever seen. Doesn't change the fact that it was the best fucking show I've ever seen.
I'm sure if I went to see Distant Worlds, that I would be in the exact same boat you are.
Yeah,
and I would
you
be
would
like,
love
this
that
is the
shit.
greatest thing I've ever seen. Like, I could not imagine something being better than this.
Yeah.
I can only imagine.
Distant Worlds would be your Jimmy Jam, absolutely.
It would be.
And I'm sure they'll be back. They've been to St. Louis twice, so I'm sure they'll be back again.
Yeah, I need to go. I remember I didn't even hear about them coming, and then Tyler had mentioned, he was like, yeah, Distant Worlds was last weekend. And I was like, what the fuck? It's like, really?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah. He was like, we only got to go to one day, and on that day they only, for some reason Distant Worlds plays different music each day.
Yes.
So
it's a
they
different set.
separate. Yeah, so they separate the sets, and he was like, yeah, the one they played some stuff from like 6 and like 8 and stuff like that. He's like, nothing that I really wanted to hear, but he was like, it was still extremely awesome. So
yeah, it was so fucking good. And I remember I was talking to my buddy John. Adam and I have a mutual friend named John, and he had gone. He too is a huge Zelda fan, and he was both him and Pat Wade. Sent me a message on Facebook after they both got back from their respective shows saying, Alex, dude, you're gonna fucking love this show. Like, dude, I hope you're fucking hype. And I'd be texting back like, yeah, I'm pretty excited. Like, I guess it hadn't really sunk in, but John had mentioned where it's like, he texted me Saturday night, he's like, I'm sad because the show's over, and that means I have to go to bed and wake up the next morning knowing that I can't go to the Sunday one. And it's it was, and that's kind of how I felt like yesterday morning. I was like, fuck, man, I'm just depressed because I can't see Zelda's Symphony again.
Right.
God damn it.
Can't go back.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, I do hope that it comes back to St. Louis. The musicians don't tour because obviously it's a St. Louis Symphony, but the program tours. It's a touring program. They've got a number of U.S. dates for the remainder of this year, and then I think it goes to Europe for a bit. And I'm sure it'll probably go on hiatus for a bit and hopefully come back. And I do sincerely hope that it does come back. Not just for my own selfish reasons, but because I want more people to experience it. I cannot understate, or I can't accurately state how enjoyable the show was. It was so awesome. I would go and again in a heartbeat, and I would pay like 20 times as much. I think I paid like and I got on a deal where it was a ticket for the Pixel Pop Festival and for Zelda Symphony together, and if you get that combo deal, like you get both of them at a like collectively at a discount. So I think I paid like 75 for those two things total. So I probably ended up paying about $40 for my ticket.
I think each individual ticket was between 50 and 60 for general, just the normal seats.
I would have paid hundreds. It was so good. It was so fucking good.
That's awesome. Yeah. That is so awesome.
It was amazing, and it was the kind of experience where like afterwards I go home and I start get winding down for the day, and I just couldn't like get it out of my head. It's like, holy shit, man, that was so fucking good. It's kind of like when you finish a good book or when you finish a good game, and you're just kind of like, shit, man, I have to go back to real life now.
Right.
I just went through this amazing journey, and that's how I describe it. It wasn't so much a concert as it was a journey, and I have to get back to real world. I have to go back to being an adult and pretend that I just didn't experience this life-changing journey, and it was just so fucking good.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh man, I could spend all of this stream and the next one just frothing at the mouth about how good this show is, but I just can't emphasize enough. So fucking good. Yeah. So
speaking of, you were saying like one of those times where you just like, fuck, I have to go back to real life.
Yeah.
When you said that, it just like basically sparked like BioShock Infinite to me, like at the end of that. Like whenever I like got done with like the cutscene, the ending cutscene, and I was just like, holy shit.
Yeah.
And by the way, it was like a Tuesday night, and it was like 3:30 in the morning because I was like, I am beating this tonight. And Amanda was like sleeping.
Yeah. And then you're just like, well, fuck it. Like it leaves you in a stupor. Like you just.
It does.
Like, fuck, dude.
And
what
I
do
spent
do
the next
now?
at least 45 minutes laying in bed with my eyes open, like contemplating everything I just fucking witnessed.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like, oh, what the hell just happened?
Yeah. Oh,
so.
Man.
I am actually almost 100% positive, and I've already told you that I've already read up pretty much all of the information on Phantom Pain.
Oh, yes.
I can fully say without a doubt, if I actually played that game all the way through, and I had no prior knowledge of it, that I would be in the most amazement that I've ever been in with any video game. So
I've heard a lot of people say it's like the perfect game with an asterisk, where that asterisk is like if Kojima could have finished it.
Yes.
If he would have been allowed to finish it, rather. Because, man, oh, man.
There is some stuff missing. That's a def.
But still, badass fucking game.
With the stuff omitted, it is still an absolutely fucking amazing game.
Oh, yeah.
So.
And we knew it would be, let's be honest. We knew it was going to be good. How could it be anything but? Oh, man.
Damn.
Good shit. Well, we always like to end on a positive note. That's,
yes.
That's a good positive
Excellent note. So, thanks for everyone for coming out and chatting with us. And next week we will be back.
In person?
Back in person. I don't know which house. One of ours. And
I can't think. I think you might be up for next one, I think, because I think I hosted last time, yeah.
Fair enough. We'll be at my house. And
ripe and ready.
We will be in the flesh through the screen again.
Yes.
So we'll be together again.
Forever.
Thanks everybody for coming out and chat. And Glass of Water Alex will also make an appearance.
It's been a coffee mug today, so
mug Alex, coffee mug Alex.
This is this is Alexander, the more sophisticated.
God,
dad-like of the two, yeah.
Yes,
the whole Alex family of.
If we ever get to the point where we can have fucking like the pictures, I will get someone to draw a fucking glass of water.
Oh, the emotes, yeah.
Yeah, the first emote.
We'll have to establish an Alex cam, and it'll be like, and it won't be a cam of me. It'll be like, well, it'll be the two of us, sitting by side, and then like we have a separate webcam focused on a glass of water. That's just Alex cam, just sitting there.
Yep.
Alex Mugner. Love it.
Wonderful. Anyways, thanks all, and we will catch you all next week.
On the flip side, no music today since, like I was telling Justin, we can't really do music when it's a Skype call because my PC just picks up all music. And I was like, all right, here you go, it's in the stream. So it's like we would just have to sit there awkwardly and just be like,
and just stare at each other.
So we're just gonna kill it. Just gonna kill the stream. No music today, but we'll have some next week.
Yep.
But that's all I got. That's
all we got. Thank you guys.
Thanks for joining, everybody.
Now I'm gonna look at Alex awkwardly.